It's time for Stepping Out with Dee Lachey and street reporter Everett Anderson. Stepping Out, the show that encourages you to step out of the box of ordinary and into the extraordinary. Stepping out of the box into a life of liberty and rejuvenation. And now, here's your host of Stepping Out, Dee Lachey.
Welcome to Stepping Out. I am your host, Dee Lachey. Did you know that 17.5 million children in America are being raised without a father? And 45% of those children are living in poverty. Today, we will meet an amazing woman who decided that despite every statistic she was a part of, she was not going to allow it to define her nor break her. She was determined to beat the odds. So with just $200 in her pocket, she packed up her entire family and moved. Now she is a straight-A student and raising 4 beautiful children. Please help me welcome Miss Monique Wells. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. So I told the audience a little bit about your story, but can you expound on before, how did you get to where you are now? What was your motivating factor for you to leave Indiana to come to where you are now?
I had just got to the point where I didn't want to go home, and I had been staying with my mother because my air had went out, and she was like, I had just had my twins. They were 5 months old, and I had a 5-year-old daughter. And she kept saying, why you don't want to go home? Is somebody, had they threatened you or done anything to you? And I was like, no, I just don't want to go back there. And so I was set to come here for Labor Day to visit my father and my sister, who's always lived here. And I purposely bought the kids' Social Security cards and birth certificates. And my sister, she, I've been saying I was going to move here for years. And so she was like, you've been talking about it, go on and enroll your daughter in school and you take the twins and go get your clothes or whatever you need. You can stay with me as long as you want. So that's what I did. I enrolled my oldest little girl in school. I took the twins back home with me. I packed up our clothes. And basically, 8 years later, and I'm still here.
So were you having a hard time in Indiana?
No, it wasn't that I was having a hard time. I heard the voice of God telling me to move. And I had prayed about it. And, it wasn't like I could find somewhere on the side of town that I wanted to move to. And I was involved with other people. And I just didn't know how to say no. And I knew that if I kept living that lifestyle, that eventually, something was going to happen that was going to end up getting me in trouble or worse, hurt. And I just felt the need to relocate.
Right. You told our producers that you relocated with $200 in your pocket. As a mother, most single mothers couldn't even fathom, doing that. So can you tell us what type of strength and what type of mindset were you in to really make that, transition for, women out there that may be a single mother and, are at a decision-making time?
I just have heard a lot of people over the years always talking about, I want to move, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they just talk about it. And I had been talking about it for years as well, but it had just got to the point in my spirit where, I was just ready to go. So anything that I've learned in life, that when I make my mind up to do it, I'm kind of full throttle, hell bent on getting it done. I sold some furniture. I didn't want to really take my bed and different stuff, couches and different stuff, so I sold the bulk of the stuff to get money. I paid some friends who had a moving truck to bring me down here. And I put the stuff in storage that I couldn't, put in my sister's basement. And so once, I was able to get my own place and get the money, I just started over. But it was just determination, I'm ready for something different. This is not what I want in my life anymore. And I wasn't really happy where I was at.
Right. Of your 4 children, you previously stated to the producers that one of your children is a special needs child. Can you tell us a little bit about what is your day like from the time you wake up to the time that you lay down at night?
Elvis has Cornelia de Lange syndrome. It's a rare genetic disorder, and he kind of is an early riser, so I don't get a lot of sleep. He's usually up between 5:30 6 o'clock, even on Saturdays and Sundays. I set my alarm for about 6:15. I get up and iron four kids' uniforms. Get the kids dressed, get them off. Depending on the day of the week, I either got to get dressed and go to school or get dressed and go to work. On Wednesdays, I have to do both. And I just don't have a lot of time to myself to do things that I want to do because, I'm constantly running. So I usually try to go to bed between like 10 and 11 after I've gotten home and try to watch my little shows or, get them ready for bed and get clothes laid out for the next day. So it's just a constant struggle. But I just thank God for giving me the strength, even, when I don't feel like getting out of bed or when I don't feel like doing what I have to do, I find the strength to do it. And I just stay prayed up and just had the faith that, this is just preparing me for what's greater.
Right. Do you ever have days where you feel like you're overwhelmed?
All the time. I call on the name of the Lord a lot. Jesus, help me. Lord, help me. Walking through the store, Jesus, help me. Give me strength, Lord. And it's just, I know I had people that pray for me and people that's prayed for me that's no longer here. I stand on their shoulders. So I have a great support system. And sometimes it's people that pray for you that you wouldn't even be aware of. And so for those people, I say thank you. For the people that I know pray for me on a regular, I say thank you. And, you just got to make it happen. You got to do what you got to do. What's the point of crying over spilled milk? The damage is done. So, I just pray that I'm an inspiration to some other mother that, you can do it.
Right.
Just don't sit there stuck in your situation and complaining or just feeling like, oh, I had kids out of wedlock or, oh, I had these kids and my life is ruined. You still can do it.
Right. So your son, which one? How many of
I have
those?
4 kids.
2 boys and 2 girls.
girls.
Which one of your boys is physically challenged?
He's my youngest. He's 6 years old. Okay. He was born with 8. Well, he has a total of 8 fingers. He just started walking back in like June of this year at 6 years old. He's had 4 surgeries. And from the time that I had him, October the 21st to the end of December, I think I had 19 doctor's appointments that they had me going to. Heart specialists, ENTs, orthopedic surgeons, because I don't think that they really knew exactly, how he would be affected. So they just had me going all over the place. And then I had the twins who were 2 years old at the time. So I would just have to come home and just take a nap because I would just be totally exhausted from just trying to, find out what was going on with him and what care that he did need, and the people that he didn't need, I was able to X them off the list. So 6 years later, he's blessed, he's walking, he's in school, he's in kindergarten, and he's a happy, loving little boy, and, I wouldn't trade him for the world. Everybody that meets him kind of just falls in love with him, and he just has a real caring spirit, and he's my little king.
Right. So when you travel and go back home, how do you, travel with 4 kids and just getting things together and, being able to travel and do things you need to do to take care of him?
He's not on any medicine or anything, or, he's not on any trachs or feeding tubes or anything like that. So he's still in diapers and, as long as I have my diapers and wipes. But it's a chore just packing everybody up and loading up the car, and then when you get and driving the 4.5 hours up the road, and then when you get in there having to unload it. So by the time I get there, I'm exhausted as well. But, it's just a short time that we have to spend with friends and family. So I just try to make the best of the trip and come back home and get some rest if I can. And, we usually come back on Sunday, and then you got to start being back at school and work on Monday morning. So.
You discussed with our producers about the program or foundation that you are part of with your son. What type of foundation is that you went to?
It's called the Cornelia D. Lang Foundation, and it's the foundation about his syndrome, and it's located out of Connecticut. And every other year they have a conference here in the United States. So we've been to 3, one in Lincolnshire, Illinois. We just went to Orange County, California this past summer, and we went to Fort Worth, Texas.
So is it just you and your son, or do you take all the children with you?
The one that was in Illinois, I was able to drive to. So I took my oldest little girl, and my mother went with me as well so that she could kind of see some of the kids and meet some of the families that I've, was able to meet through Facebook and network with.
Okay, thank you so much. We will continue our story with Miss Monique Wells after these messages.
We live in a world where no one wants to be a loser. But what happens when losing means winning? What are we referring to, you ask? We are talking about inches. Yes, losing inches and shaping your body. The Stepping Out Transformation Project of 2014 is being led by the talk show host and author Dee Lachey and Miss Monica McLaurin. We invite you to join our team as we get healthy and shed off inches off our waist, our hips, arms, and every area that fat likes to tuck in and take up residence. It's time to file an eviction notice on the unhealthy areas of your life and build a new, healthier you. Are you ready? You can do it. Start making the transformation today by liking us on Facebook, visiting our website, and emailing us pictures at steppingouttalkshow@gmail.com. We are stepping out in 2014 to be healthier because we know that as we lose weight, we are winners.
Partygoers Catering, a taste you can't forget for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We provide exquisite entrees, hors d'oeuvres, and desserts, beautifully designed to make your event successful and unforgettable. We'll handle the details and add a touch of elegance to your next wedding, corporate event, graduation, or special occasion. Our wide selection of menu choices will leave you wanting for nothing. Partygoers Catering. We travel. Call us today at 615-419-1879 or visit partygoerscatering.com.
Choose Venue 109 for your next event. Our number one priority is to fulfill our customers' vision, a virtual blank canvas. Venue 109 can be transformed to meet the requirements of your event, whether you're having a corporate gathering, wedding, or birthday party. We also offer catering. Venue 109 is located in North Nashville, across from Rivergate Mall. Give us a call at 615-999-6528 or visit us at www.venue109.com.
The Venom were proud to bring indoor football back to Nashville, but that's not all. The Venom also brought the championship to town. Join the Venom as they try to make it back-to-back championships in 2015. Season tickets on sale at 615-223-1272.
Welcome back to Stepping Out. We are continuing our conversation with Miss Monique Wells in her determination to succeed as being a single mother of 4 children. Monique, last semester of school, you made the president's list with a 4.0 GPA. How did you do that with 4 children and 1 being special needs and working a job?
Just determined, like I said, if I set my mind to something, I know what it is I got to do, and college isn't hard, per se, as people try to make it be. It's just about showing up, participating, and doing your work. If your teachers see that you're doing your work and you're trying, even if you may not be an A student, that carries a lot of weight. And I'm just the type of person that believes in not making excuses and just getting up and doing what you got to do. I also have had perfect attendance the 3 semesters that I've been there.
Wow.
And
Never missed a day?
Not missed a class. Even though when I've been sick, I had death in the family, Elvis had surgeries, I still go to class. So, the teachers see that I tried. They know my struggle. They know my story. So, I just put my mind to it and just, got my work done, and I knew how to ask for help if I needed help on certain, assignments or things that I didn't maybe understand or needed some help with. And just, showing up with an attitude of willing to learn.
Have you ever had moments where you had to take your children to school with you?
A lot of times. Whether they be sick or got in trouble and couldn't go to school for the day. I've taken them with me. One day the teacher was like, I need you to kind of go ahead and go home because I had Elvis and he's a handful at times. But, I said, I just want you to know that no matter what, I'm here. So I just want you to see my dedication. And she said, oh, Miss Wells, we see it. We know. She was like, you can go ahead and leave, or whatever the case was. But they're real understanding. A lot of times if you just have a talk with your professor and just let them know what's going on instead of just, withdrawing. A lot of people just stop coming or, they think that nobody cares about your situation. But they're people too. So if you just have a talk with them and kind of, like this is what's going on with me and, maybe I'm behind or whatever the case may be, if they feel that it's a genuine situation and not just you being lazy and using stuff as excuses, then, they're really willing to work with you.
Right. Do you have a strong support system, within your family and friends or?
Not a whole lot as far as like people who will, like babysit. My oldest is 13 and, I had to try to explain to her, like, we in this together. I know these aren't your kids. I know, Elvis is not your child. And, but I need some help, and then in order for me to better myself for us, it's going to take a team effort, and, a lot of times the oldest child kind of, loses their childhood having to help the mother with babysitting and raising, and I try to, award her or let her do things, it's I don't know. It's a difficult situation, but you just have to do the best you can do with what you got.
Right. Have you ever had moments where you felt bitter about, being a single mother and
Girl,
not
yeah,
really having
you be wanting to get on the phone and call and go off on some people like, I'm down here struggling. You don't call these kids and check on them. You don't pay no money. You don't. But then at the end of the day, what would that accomplish? That's what they have to deal with. That's what he has to answer for in the decision making that, he's chose to do. My kids see what I do on a daily basis, so when they get grown, they can't say, well, my mama wasn't this or she wasn't that. Mama made it happen. And I don't try to talk bad about, my oldest little girl father passed away, so of course there's nothing he can do. And then the twins' father, he has like a total of 8 kids. Okay. So he just made his first child support payment in 8 years.
Praise the
like
Lord.
A couple weeks ago. So, I just think, with prayer, I tell my kids, pray for them, and you just keep being who you are and reaching out even when they don't reach out to you, Right.
So what's in your future? What are your goals?
I would love to finish school. After this semester, this coming up semester, I need 15 more credit hours. Well, coming up to get my associates, and then I just want to keep going to get my bachelor's. And my passion is single mothers and their kids and clothing and feeding and educating them to let them know that, it starts with one. And if you learn, then you can pay it forward and, educate others. And I just don't like to see people uneducated and ignorant and stuck in the state that they're in. Right. And think that they have to depend on a man or depend on the system. You use it as a stepping stone, but don't use it to get comfortable. And 20 years later, you still stuck in the projects or, you haven't done anything to better yourself.
Right. Well, I think it's amazing that to, maintain a 4.0 GPA, work and take care of 4 children, that is a lot, but it shows your determination. So, if it's a young person out there, a young mother or a mother that feels like she can't go back to school because she has children, or, she just have these things that she goals and dreams that she want to do but don't have that push or is doubtful, what would you say to that mother?
I would just say that, everybody's faith level and belief in God is different. But my faith has gotten me thus far where I am at today. And I just pray and when I hear the voice of God tell me to do things that I need to do, I just try to act up on them. And I knew that I needed to go back to school. And I had been putting it off because I really don't like school, But I ended up going back, and I knew once that, I was obedient to what God was telling me to do, that he would bless me. And so far, doors have been open and he's blessing me and my kids, and we're happy. And I just encourage everybody to just be the best you, whatever that may be. You don't have to sit there and settle for less. You don't have to be stuck in your current situation. You can always be better than what you are. And I tell my kids all the time, for the first time I met my son in the NICU, that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So that would be the advice that I would have to a young parent or a young mother, single mother, or anybody just going through whatever their situation is.
Right. So if someone wanted to have you come to do any workshops, seminars, speak to children, or speak to mothers that are trying to regroup and rebuild their life, how can they contact you?
They can email me at mwells at abcnash.edu, and I will respond to the emails.
Can you repeat that one more time?
mwells, WELLS, at abcnash.edu.
We thank you so much for coming today and sharing your story. I think that you are able to encourage so many women on so many different platforms, because so many people think that they can't make it or they can't do it. And you are defeating the odds on so many different levels. So just your story alone is able to tell any woman that has an excuse, my children are young, or my children are handicapped, or I can't move. Your story covers so many areas and so many different dynamics of success that you have achieved, that you can, show any woman that she can make it. So thank you for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me, and giving up is never an option.
We live in a world where no one wants to be a loser. But what happens when losing means winning? What are we referring to, you ask? We are talking about inches. Yes, losing inches and shaping your body. The Stepping Out Transformation Project of 2014 is being led by the talk show host and author Dee Lachey and Miss Monica McLaurin. We invite you to join our team as we get healthy and shed off inches off our waist, our hips, arms, and every area that fat likes to tuck in and take up residence. It's time to file an eviction notice on the unhealthy areas of your life and build a new, healthier you. Are you ready? You can do it. Start making the transformation today by liking us on Facebook, visiting our website, and emailing us pictures at steppingouttalkshow@gmail.com. We are stepping out in 2014 to be healthier, because we know that as we lose weight, we are winners.
Partygoers Catering, a taste you can't forget for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We provide exquisite entrees, hors d'oeuvres, and desserts, beautifully designed to make your event successful and unforgettable. We'll handle the details and add a touch of elegance to your next wedding, corporate event, graduation, or special occasion. Our wide selection of menu choices will leave you wanting for nothing. Partygoers Catering. We travel. Call us today at 615-419-1879 or visit partygoerscatering.com.
Choose Venue 109 for your next event. Our number one priority is to fulfill our customers' vision, a virtual blank canvas. Venue 109 can be transformed to meet the requirements of your event. Whether you're having a corporate gathering, wedding, or birthday party, we also offer catering. Venue 109 is located in North Nashville, across from Rivergate Mall. Give us a call at 615-999-6528 or visit us at www.venue109.com.
The Venom were proud to bring indoor football back to Nashville, but that's not all. The Venom also brought the championship to town. Join the Venom as they try to make it back-to-back championships in 2015. Season tickets on sale at 615-223-1272.
Thank you for tuning in to Stepping Out. We had an amazing story today from Miss Monique Wells and her determination to succeed. It is an awesome story for any single mother to reach down deep and reach towards her goals and dreams. Until next time, I'm Dee Lachey, and this is Stepping Out.
It's time for Stepping Out with D. Lachey and street reporter Everett Anderson. Stepping Out, the show that encourages you to step out of the box of ordinary and into the extraordinary. Stepping out of the box into a life of liberty and rejuvenation. And now, here's your host of Stepping Out, D. Lachey.
Please help me welcome Miss Tiffany Love.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Ecstatic to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So let me ask you, what made you become an advocate for bullies? If there is anyone that may feel like they can't do anything or they're not qualified or because of their past, they're not qualified to reach their goals and dreams, don't let the doubt that you have in your head stop you from going forward, because I'm one that can honestly say that as a kid living in the projects and running home dodging bullets when we get off the bus and running home because kids want to fight you and just all of those things, if you would have asked me as a kid back then, could I or would I be hosting a television show, I would honestly say no. That was the farthest thing from my mind. But I am here to say, if there's anybody that looks at themselves and say that don't feel like that they're worthy, don't feel like they're qualified, don't feel as if they're smart enough, or that they have done too much in their life to be able to have something good happen for them, or it's too much that has happened for you to pursue your goals and dreams. That's not true. Your biggest enemy is not people around you that's fighting against you or don't want you to have something. Your biggest enemy is yourself, your thought process. It's the things that you tell yourself. It's the things that you think about yourself. Once you get past the point of doubting yourself and having those uncertainties in your own mind, there's such a broad range of opportunities for you. Then you can have people around you of the like mindset of where you're trying to go. You can have that positive energy around you, but it first starts battling the things and the thoughts that you have in your own mind.
It's time for Stepping Out with D. Lachey and street reporter Everett Anderson. Stepping Out, the show that encourages you to step out of the box of ordinary and into the extraordinary. Stepping out of the box into a life of liberty and rejuvenation.
Outro 5.
Welcome back to Stepping Out.